Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you another video. All right, so you see me wearing blue. You see the yellow on there. That is a reflection of what we're going to see tonight. The Los Angeles Lakers are going to be facing the Orlando Magic at 6:30 Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern, and of course, we're coming off a game where the Los Angeles Lakers did lose the game. Shot 61% from the free throw line. 61% from the free throw line, and just lost the game at the buzzer against the Dallas Mavericks. Uh, Anthony Davis gave up 6 out of 7 points in 6 points out of 7 seconds, I think, in basketball time, to Maxi Kleber on a foul. Um, that Maxi was able to hit 3 free throws, a bad closeout, and then from there, leaving him open to shoot the shot at the buzzer. That ultimately, I thought our guys did a great job closing out on Kyrie Irving, but Anthony Davis did a horrible job closing out on Maxi Kleber. So he was able to get that second set of 3 points that ultimately gave them the 1 point lead. So you clearly see we had a huge opportunity go by the wayside. We could have been in the sixth place spot right now. Instead, we're looking at 11th place as of right now, hoping to get a win tonight. And OKC hopefully will lose their game, whoever they're playing, I don't remember, and put us back in a position to be a playoff tournament players. So this is a game that, to say, is a must-win. It's annoying to even get to that point where we have to say that anymore. This has been a must-win for about 3 weeks now. Every game is a must-win, and mathematically we're in good position because teams that are in our position keep losing games as well. So it's helping us, but not enough. Not enough for us to be in a playing position right now. So I think the Los Angeles Lakers, the approach to this basketball game should be uh, attacking a team that has played okay off and on over the last several weeks. I think it's really noteworthy that they've been up and down, extremely up and down. The last game that they played, they said that they put it all together. That was what they said. They were against the LA Clippers. They were down by a little bit. Franz Wagner hit a big three down the stretch to give them a comeback win. And they really got a lot out of Markelle Fultz and Wendell Carter as well. So, this is a team that has a lot of players that are of either 6'10" or taller that can do things like guards, at least 5 of them. And they're all going to be healthy tonight. Then you got to take into account their point guard position, where they've drafted very well and have had injury issues that have made it so that these guys have never all been healthy at the same time, where they're all healthy right now coming into our building. Markelle Fultz, Cole Anthony, and Jalen Suggs. 3 basically lottery talent, all-star level guards that are all on the same team waiting for an opportunity to see who gets the big bag. I think that's how that goes. The way it's looking right now, Markelle Fultz is the guy that's stepping forward as of right now, which is really interesting to me because he was the guy that was lowest on the pecking order when they put this thing together, in my opinion. But because he was coming back from some really, really serious leg injuries and all the kinds of other injuries, but he is stepping forward as a player who is starting to ascend into basically an all-star level talent, um, which is really, really amazing given the fact that he was the second, or was it the first overall pick, and then everything went wrong from there for years. But Orlando gave him an opportunity and have developed him tremendously, and now he's a starting point guard playing all-star level ball right now. Um, he has the ball in his hands. He's making plays for others. He's making plays on the defensive end. He's athletic, jumping out the gym, hitting 3-point shots. It's not a whole lot wrong going on down there. And then you look at Cole Anthony, who's probably just as talented, to be honest with you, and he's also healthy, jumping out the gym, hitting a lot of 3-point shots. He's so reliable from behind the arc. It's kind of ridiculous, really, seeing how many set shots he was able to hit in the highlights I watched over the last 6 games they played. And like I said, they've had some games where it's like they go into San Antonio and get beat by like over 10 points. And they had a game against the Miami Heat where they were excellent and beat the Miami Heat at home. Beat the Clippers, as I said, on the road. Um, Played the Portland Trail Blazers very, very closely at home. Took Dame getting 41 points for them to squeeze out a close victory. Who else? They played the Phoenix Suns very close a couple games ago. Only lost by like 5 there. So you can see this is a team that's putting it together. They're 4.5 games behind the final play-in tournament spot, so they're not making the playoffs unless something drastic happens, which I don't see happening. But they definitely got talent to do great things, and they definitely have the talent to come into a one-game situation and dominate. They absolutely have that. Paolo Banchero, Rookie of the Year candidate. I think he'll probably end up getting it, but it's going to be kind of close down the stretch. 6'10", 260 pounds, all muscle. One of the most pure scorers in all of basketball. Honestly, he's just a puppy right now, a rookie obviously, but I do think that naturally he's going to be able to put the ball in as comfortably as probably anybody who's ever played. When it's all said and done, 10 years from now, if he doesn't have any injury issues and he stays on this trajectory, he's going to be scoring 40 points all the time, 30 points all the time. He's just that gifted and that big, and he's going to be that menacing as he continues to get stronger. And when you look at him, when you lay eyes on him, he's a little deceptive because he doesn't look as big as he ultimately is. But once you start seeing him press up against other players, you start seeing him bang up against power forwards and centers, you start to understand that this is basically a LeBron-like character, basically in terms of his size. You're going to have to deal with him. And so then you look at his running mates, you see Bol, 7'4", with a basically 8-foot wingspan or something, who plays like a guard. It was a situation where this dude got a steal. And then dribbled the ball down the court by himself, did a behind-the-back pass across court to a player at the three-point arc who was able to hit the shot. Like, this is a 7'3", 7'4" guy making plays like a point guard. The only thing about Bol is it's kind of hard to get him going. He plays extremely passive. He doesn't necessarily have it together yet. He's still very early in his development because Denver botched his development completely, and he had some injury issues on top of that. So this is basically his rookie season, and he's trying to figure it out. But his natural gifts and his length and stuff is going to turn him into an MVP candidate before this is over with. So he's on this team. You got Wendell Carter, who to me seems like a more traditional center coming in from Chicago. He played really well over there but couldn't quite get healthy. He came into this situation. He's kind of had some injury issues, but has really, really played extremely well for this team when he's been on the floor, and he's been healthy for a little bit right now. And playing with these other guys have made it so that he's incorporating new things into his game that's pulling him away from being a traditional center and turning him into one of them dudes. He can put the ball on the floor. He's dribbling now. He's shooting threes now. He's rebounding like he always did. He's scoring in the paint like he always did. He's getting better because he's playing with Paolo, because he's playing with Bol, and because he's playing with Franz Wagner. Yet another 6'10" dude who can put the ball on the floor, shoot the three, and basically is going to have godlike talent for the next 10 to 12 years. He is another super duper high level wing that basically is a 7-footer. So how many was that? We counted 4. And that's 4 of them. Then you got to deal with Goga Batazde, who they've picked up. They're trying to work him into the equation. He's a bit more traditional, but he's a great defensive presence down there. I think they try to overuse him a little bit offensively. It doesn't make any sense to me with all the other guys they need to be getting the ball to. But nevertheless, that is yet another 7-foot shot blocking presence on the floor to accompany with all the other 6'10" guys that they got and those 3 superstar guard level players that they're going to develop over the next several years. Jalen Suggs, a guy who's having a lot of issues lately staying healthy, the third point guard in that rotation of guards that I think are really, really good. They just drafted him. He was the guy that went before Scotty Barnes. So you know how soon it is in his development. He just got started, and the knee injuries and all these other injuries have made it so that it's very difficult for him to get as much minutes as the other guys because, of course, Fultz and Anthony have stepped forward, and then you're dealing with Gary Harris as well. So it's kind of hard for him to get the minutes, especially when you consider the Bol basically as a guard too. So, you know, Jalen Suggs is a guy who I said I'd love to see get in another situation because I think he's going to step forward as a starting guard rather easily. He doesn't really have too many holes in his natural game, and as he continues to get stronger, if these injury issues don't pile up, he's just going to start showing his natural talent. He has a football background, and he basically is a star on both sides of the floor. He can stretch the floor, really nice, sharp shooting ability. So you got him down there with the capability of hitting a bunch of threes, slashing at the basket, and locking people down. And then you got to deal with him, Anthony, Fultz, who are doing the same thing, and then those big guys that are running around doing the same thing. And then you got, like I said, guys like Gary Harris coming off the bench, another 7-footer, Mo Wagner. We know Mo. We drafted him ourselves. He's developed well playing with his little brother, and has made a name for himself in Orlando as well. He's had some really big games this season, basically a breakout season. So how many is that? 5, 6 6'10" guys, 7-foot guys that can do their own thing and all stretch the floor and space it for their team. We're at a disadvantage. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna hold you. This is a matchup that on paper the Lakers should not be okay in, because at the end of the day they got so many people they can throw at LeBron, at Anthony Davis. They got like 5 guys that they can crowd Anthony Davis out with, and then a bunch of shooters that we can't leave alone. Not including the 5 guys that are crowding Anthony Davis who are also shooters. It's just, you're not supposed to beat this team. Nobody's really supposed to beat this team. The only reason why anybody beats this team is because they're still tanking, honestly, and because they're still learning how to be together, and because they like to feed the ball to people that aren't Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero and Wendell Carter sometimes, which is kind of, I mean, it makes sense if that person happens to be for Markelle Fultz or Anthony or Suggs, but sometimes it's Batazde or Harris. And so when they give the ball to the wrong people and not fully feed those super duper kids, it just dumbs it down for the opponent. And I think that's a component of them tanking. So at the end of the day, just like the Rockets, if they really wanted to press forward, they can probably beat just about everybody anytime they want to, because they have such high level, big, huge stars that all shoot the three. Paolo Banchero's shooting form is special, man. Franz Wagner's shooting form is special, man. You see what I'm saying? It's like they got all stars. So for us, having role players going up against these guys, this is a repeat of the Houston Rockets game. In fact, I'd probably say they're more imposing than Houston. They are. They're more imposing than Houston. They're a better team than Houston right now. And so I don't like us against this team ever. I didn't like us against this team earlier in the season when we blew them out. Why? Because they just didn't play well. They laid an egg like they did in San Antonio. So we're hopeful that they'll continue to just kind of go through the motions. They did come off a really nice game against the Clippers where they closed correctly, played good defense down the stretch. Their coach was really excited about how they closed that game, and Markelle Fultz just playing like an all-star. So to me, you got to pay attention to how Markelle Fultz is making things happen. If he's going for 30 points and 10 assists, obviously you got problems. And that's kind of what he's doing these days. That's kind of, I mean, close to it. So I'm expecting a barn burner from their end, and then I'm expecting us to come in. I don't know, man. I don't know. Coming off the type of loss that we had, the fact that they lost against the Houston Rockets, the fact that we didn't get ourselves a center, so we're technically, schematically at a huge disadvantage against this particular matchup, there's no reason for me to believe that this team's going to come out and just blow this Orlando team out. And we don't even have the horses to do so on paper. So even if we come out with the rah-rah attitude, if we're not hitting three-point shots and they happen to be defending well, they're definitely going to out-rebound us. So these are the type of things you just know is going to happen. And then it's like this. In coaching, what his tendencies are, as we've talked about a million times, some of the stuff that he's just prone to do, if he does any of those things tonight, and Orlando's playing up to their capability, you also are at a disadvantage. So you can't do the Beasley thing tonight. It is not going to work. You're going to have to lean in on the fact that Wenyen Gabriel's been playing so fantastic lately. Him and Anthony Davis had some great synergy in the last game that might have gotten lost in the midst of all of that. I think we need to try to use them more together. I don't think I've ever seen them on the floor together before that. All season long and all last season, I don't think I've seen Wenyen Gabriel and Anthony Davis on the floor at the same time, which is, when you consider who we are and what our needs are, fireable in and of itself. It's a fireable offense. So I'm glad we finally seen those two players on the same floor at the same time. And I think it's a good chance we'll see a lot of that going forward, because Wenyen played that good, and we need that much size. So that's what it is. If we don't lean into our size tonight, Rui Hachimura cannot have 16 minutes. Coach, just because you're playing him at the 4 spot and he doesn't succeed at the 4 spot does not mean he's not succeeding for us. You just got to put him at the 3 like we've all been telling you to do. That's it, bro. You know, when he goes out there and shoots 5 out of 8, 2 for 2 from behind the arc, and gives me 2 steals, and I don't see him but 16 minutes, and we're running around smaller than the other team, that's a coaching deficiency. It's not deeper than that. And so that was what we saw down there against Dallas. We didn't get Rui out there despite him having a hot hand and being big enough to do what we needed him to do. And we left the production on the board that we needed. Same thing with, our guy, Lonnie Walker. All the production that I think he's capable of giving us, that he's already proven he can provide us, and we're not using him at all. That's a coaching deficiency. It ain't got nothing to do with the player or how well he's playing. So these are the type of things that are catering to why the Lakers aren't as good as they need to be, because they're leaving production on the board. And so these are the type of things we need to remedy tonight. Austin, like I said, Austin Reeves is an important player tonight because he's going to have to flex as a really, really good player to offset some of the guard play they're going to give us this evening. It's going to be about him. If Dennis Schroeder continues to struggle, we're not going to sustain. It's not going to work. Beasley going 3 for 12 from behind the arc, 3 rebounds, 4 assists. It's not going to work. You trot out there like that, I promise you're going to get beaten. D'Angelo Russell, that 5 for 14 stuff. I love the 11 assists. It turned out it was 11. I said it was 7 or 8. He gave us a lot of assists. That's never going to be shunned here. I know I heard some people say, oh, he needs to shoot more. Not when he's 5 for 17. The assists were what we needed. But I think the aggressiveness needs to come from him crashing the glass a bit more. You're long, dude. And I saw Kyrie Irving pull down far too many rebounds that should have been D'Lo rebounds pulled down. I'm sorry. One of the reasons that I said I would choose D'Lo over Kyrie Irving is because of the size and in theory, his ability to pull down boards. But if I'm sitting down there and I'm watching those two dudes fighting over rebounds and the smaller ones pulling down the board, that is not a good thing. That's not a good thing for my argument. So these are the type of things I'm looking at D'Lo. I'm like, all right, you want this bag, bro? You want to have us choose you over Kyrie Irving? You had better step up in these games that must be won. You already missed 5 of them with an ankle, and you came back and played like trash since. I'm not cool with that. Not when I'm lobbying for you to be our future. Absolutely not. He's going to have to step up and remind us of the talent level that he can provide us and how it can translate to us winning, or we're going to be starting thinking about singing a different tune as it pertains to what the hell we're going to be doing with our free agency. Because if we can't use, this is where I'm at, and this is where my energy is right now. We're in this stretch we need to win these games. These guys are auditioning for whether or not they can be the future players that can help us win games. If you can't win the games that we need you to help us win, then why the hell are we going to look for you to help us win in the future? That goes for D'Lo, Vando, Hachimura, of course Malik Beasley, especially Malik Beasley, who's about to be picking up his $16 million player option, which could be stealing money from the Lakers next year if he doesn't shoot better. I already see that coming. That's a terrible contract if he keeps playing like this. So these are the type of things. It's like, if you want our support, these are the games you need to learn how to gain our support by winning. The way that the effort has been over the last couple games, I get it. They didn't get you a center, but that effort was garbage. It wasn't good enough. Especially starting the game off against the Dallas Mavericks, the effort was trash. When you need to win, it can't be about, well, the organization didn't get us what we need, so our confidence is down. Your confidence is going to get you not paid, man. It's not going to get you paid. So if you don't get your head into the game and into the situation at hand, and we go by the waysides and fall out the playoffs, believe you me, I'm not going to be singing, let's bring back D'Lo, let's bring back Beasley. That ain't going to be my tune. If we go 6-6 down the stretch of these next 11 or 12 games, whatever's left, y'all got to start winning these games. So, like I said, I understand where the schematic disadvantage. I understand Anthony Davis didn't play against Houston. I understand all this. But that ain't got nothing to do with how bad we looked against the Houston Rockets. That ain't got nothing to do with how poorly we guarded the perimeter. None of that has anything to do with any of that. So I wanted to see us attack the Houston Rockets a bit more. We shot threes poorly. Gave up all kinds of three-point shots just the same. So I'm as tired as everybody else is with this team, man. The ups and downs of this entire season as a whole has been too much. Last season included makes it even worse. We just honestly want our team to play smart, be coached smart, and do things that help us beat teams like the Orlando damn Magic. So that's where I'm at with it. You lose to the Magic tonight, and there's going to be a lot of people through with y'all, like fully. It ain't going to be no conversation about the Lakers making the playoffs. People ain't going to want to see the ship go down like this. Not when we've already went through the Patrick Beverly, Russell Westbrook crap. We ain't going to watch this go down like that. So y'all better get your act together. And, the whole situation is like this. You're going up against a Orlando Magic team that if they want to out-rebound you, they should be able to have the assets to do it. So if you don't put the people on the floor that can give you the best opportunity to match up with that size, you're going to be embarrassed tonight. That's all there is to it, man. Markelle Fultz is playing extremely well. So if y'all don't treat him like he's Kyrie Irving or something like that, it's going to be a bad night for you. Same thing with Cole Anthony. If you don't get out to him on that three-point line, he's going to hit about 3 or 4 of them threes tonight off the bench. It's just to be expected. Gary Harris, same thing. Houston, same thing. There's a guy by the name of Houston on that team who shoots the three very well. They may call his number tonight. Be ready for him. Chuma Okeke. Yet another 6'10" guy who plays defense and uses the ball the same way as the other guys. How many is that? Is that 6 or 7? They don't even use Chuma. But if they happen to, he's yet another power forward that you're going to have to account for, LA. That's about 6? Is that 6 of them? I think I counted 6. I'm telling you, the whole team, 7-footers that dribble. So, not having a rostered center, not having Bron, AD, doing whatever he doing, your team, you need guys to step up tonight and hit 3-point shots. That's what needs to happen. We need to be able to take advantage of this team in whatever way we can, and that interior is not going to be wide open with Wendell Carter and Bol and Pounce, all the names in the paint. If they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're keeping you out of it. So, as I said, I'm looking at Austin Reeves because he's the one that's going to step up and play outside himself against some of them dudes. If we call Troy Brown number, Rui Hachimura, Vanderbilt, Wenyen Gabriel, those are the names tonight. We need the big guys to be able to first be on the floor, coach, and then from there, win your matchup. Win your matchup. It's Wenyen Gabriel time, it's Vanderbilt time, it's Anthony Davis time. Win your matchup because those are the guys that are coming at you. And look, Dennis Schroeder, same thing. It can't just be one guard balling out tonight. It can't just be one or two guys having us good nights because that's not how that's going to go on the other side. That's just not how that's going to go. Suggs, Anthony, and Markelle Fultz are coming at you. So you need more than one guard coming at you, just like you need more than one forward coming at them, rather. So it's like, bad matchup. Basketball is a game of matchups. And this, my friend, has been a bad matchup all season long. The only thing that saves us is the fact that that's a bad team as they operate. They got the best players in the world, but they operate like, let's get the ball to Gary Harris 100 times while we got all these superstars over here. Let's run 3 pick and rolls in a row for Batazde, even though we got all these guards over here and superstars over here. Like, that's the type of stuff they tend to do. And that's not an indictment on their coach. I don't even know who their coach is. So I'm not trying to, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, they're a tanking team. They play average. They're stuck in Orlando. It is what it is. But, from player to player to player to player to player, you give it about 8 years, that dude's going to be a multi-all-star. That dude's going to be a multi-all-star. That dude's going to be a multi-all. Basically, their team's the starting Eastern Conference All-Star game 2030. That's what I'm here to tell you. So, if you're not serious about them, they're going to treat you like the Rockets. They're going to treat you like OKC. They're going to treat you like any other young team that actually has really good players who will look at our players and say, yo, that's food. That's food. Just like I told y'all, Houston was looking at our guys. That's food. Yeah, I know the records tell you what they tell you, but these are tanking teams. That is food. You put Malik Beasley in front of Markelle Fultz, and he's eating. I'm telling you right now. I am telling you this early. I think Dennis Schroeder is a much better look because he plays good defense. He's fast enough to keep up with some of these guys. D'Angelo Russell's talent is going to bleed through and his length can help us. But it's going to be a tough matchup for him, too. The way that Markelle Fultz is attacking, it's going to be tough for D'Lo, too. He would much rather not have a guy coming to him like that. And then Anthony just picking you apart around the perimeter, getting in the passing lanes, getting steals, driving down the rim, dunking the ball like he does. Lob Central all night long. Know it early. They're lobbing the ball. And Paolo Banchero, he's a guy he's super talented. But there's a lot of, again, everybody else getting the ball. That's just what it is. They would probably benefit from giving him more attempts just in general because he's that talented. He's a guy that you probably want shooting the ball 18 times, honestly. So he just doesn't get enough looks from me. And sometimes when he does get those looks, he's really inefficient because he's a rookie. So that's kind of what it is. He's not yet who he's going to be. And he sometimes hurts them because of it, in my humble opinion. But the guys that are most reliable to them are kind of the 2-year, 3-year guys. Wendell Carter, Fultz, and Wagner. Them dudes are going to hurt you tonight, for sure. This is a fact. I can count on those 3 being the main hitters. If Paolo has it going, he can go all the way up. The level doesn't end. He can go to 50. But the guys that you're counting on are the guys who have a little more experience, and those are the guys that have been a bit more productive for them consistently. He's in the mix, but maybe not. Wendell, definitely. Franz, definitely. Uh, and at this point, Fultz, definitely. They're coming, 100%. Bobo, he may. His body and his appearance and his skill set should be able to destroy you. So if he steps into his confidence, he can go up too. But he's not there yet. They're not there. Give him a couple years. They will be. So that's what it is, man. This is a very talented team early in the stages with a lot of bad habits. You don't know how they're going to come in. They may have confidence. They may not. I don't know. But deep down, they're a lot better than you. And that's the respect we have to play. That's the respect we have to pay. We're aware that they're better than us. They may not be. It's that simple. They don't know who they are yet. So hopefully that'll work in the Lakers' favor, given the fact that we need to win. Even though some of our guys are not as talented, if Anthony Davis comes back with a vengeance, which I am not counting on, his heart is in question right now. I'm not counting on that. But if he comes back with heart, with intent of not only dishing punishment, but being able to absorb it from all those bigs, we'll have a good shot at winning this game because he's that talented. But they're coming at him. It's like 6 of them, and they're all going to be on him. And if they crowd him, it's going to be on other people to hit shots. Maybe we'll have a repeat performance from New Orleans. Maybe it'll be a repeat performance from Dallas. But we're going to have to get production from other players, or it's going to be another loss for us. And we've been losing a lot lately. 3 out of 4 to be exact. 2 of the last 2. Yeah, that's right. 2-game losing streak. And honestly, those games were winnable. Of course, the Houston game, got to look at it for what it is. But the Dallas game will never be forgiven. We will never forgive any of y'all for that Dallas game, man. As bad as y'all shot the free throw, as poorly as AD showed up, as bad as those rotations consistently are. The fact that you didn't use Max Christie or Lonnie Walker, and I know both of them dudes would have helped us tremendously in this matchup, leaning on Beasley as he continues to brick himself to nothingness. Same thing with D'Angelo, bricked himself to absolute losses. And coach just sit there with his hand on his hip like he's actually doing something that helps us. I'm tired of it. I'm dead tired of it. We are 3 games behind 500 with teams like the Utah Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder on our backside. We are not in a position to keep doing this. I think a lot of people think our season is over. If we lose this game tonight, I'm going to be one of them. I'm already pretty much honestly there because I know what the uphill battle is versus the fragility of a player like Anthony Davis who we're leaning on, and he didn't even show no heart last game, and the game before that we couldn't get him on the floor for whatever set of reasons, and this is the urgency. You know what I'm saying? This is the urgency. But we can't seem to get guys to play well against teams that don't have their best players and stuff like that. I'm at a point where I'm like, look, y'all got about 1 more loss before this thing is pretty much done. Let's just be real. Now, that can change if you string together a couple wins just the same. A lot of things can change and get us back on board. But losing to the Rockets, losing to the Magic, losing to the Dallas Mavericks, losing to the freaking Knicks, all of those things do not inspire confidence in you being able to win the last 10 games of this season. It does not. Forget what everybody else is doing. What the heck are you going to do when you get to your point if you've made the play-in tournament and still have some of these habits? Or you haven't gotten yourself a center, you got to see the Utah Jazz in the play-in tournament and Walker Kessler's out there blocking shots and Kelly Olynyk's out there rebounding and dunking and shooting threes. What are you going to do? And count on Anthony Davis and LeBron James to be 100% healthy on that day when the path is as it is, where they must win all the way there until this point, and Bron ain't even back. So it's all on AD and his great health to lead us to the victory. And, of course, Malik Beasley's hot hand. That ain't never hot. Like I said, it's going to have to take some changes. People are going to have to believe that what they're doing isn't working, switch it up right now and make it work, or it's over. The mediocrity that they've been engaging in all season long is going to be the same mediocrity they're going to finish with. They are who they are. That's what the Lakers. They are who they are. So we're going to see yet again them be who they are tonight. I ain't got no faith in them right now. Why would I? There are individual players on this team that I have faith in, but as a collective, they've mailed it in. Once the Lakers did not add a center to this team, a lot of them dudes showed their true colors. A lot of them dudes showed their true colors, and they didn't have heart when they mattered most. We've been screaming, must win, must win, must win every night. They came out against the Knicks lousy. Came out against the New Orleans Pelicans, definitely hit shots. Luckily, they did. Came out against the Rockets, ill-prepared. Took them for granted. Came out against the Dallas Mavericks, ill-prepared. Took them for granted. They're going to come out against the Orlando Magic and do what exactly? Fight tooth and nail, come out battling, hitting shots left and right? What am I supposed to expect from this team at this point? They still ain't at a center. Know damn well the type of matchup we got tonight. It's even more imposing than the Houston Rockets. It's even more necessary that they add that center. You think that player would be on the team today? You think he would be on a flight to LA? This is why I'm not screaming all types of positivity, because the Lakers have mailed it in before they're mathematically out as an organization by not adding that big. And the players follow. So that's what we're looking at, man. Maybe they go out and win. Maybe the Orlando Magic shoot 61% from the free throw line. That'll help. Maybe they just play so bad they turn the ball over 18 times. Maybe we'll win that way. But what does that mean for the next game when we got to see the Phoenix Suns? What does that mean for the next 2 games when we got to see the Chicago Bulls twice in a row and go on a 6-game road trip after that? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? So I'm not feeling all that great about this team. You've already lost a home game that you can't lose in this home stand. And I'm supposed to expect in the second half of this, you're going to go on the road and just break out all over the league, all over the, come on, man. The Lakers, if they're serious, they ain't going to lose no more games. We're going to start tonight, and in every game after this, they're going to find a way to be the victor of, if they're serious. And they're going to add a damn center, too, so that they can have an actual opportunity of doing that, if they're serious. But I don't think people are serious. I don't. I think people have mailed it in. And so that's my attitude. I'm disappointed. I'm frustrated. I want change in the front office. I like some of our young players, but some of them still got to prove themselves that they want to be a part of this thing. Because I'm not in love with the idea of going up against all these teams that have bad records with young players and seeing them outclass our role players. I don't like it. I understand that we got superstars missing, but at the end of the day, superstars be missed. If your role players are outclassed, you're getting beat. And that's a problem. So the Troy Browns and the Malik Beasleys of the world, y'all are not playing well. And it's a problem because we're going up against real dudes. So y'all got to step up tonight. I'm talking directly to those two. Y'all got to step up tonight. What I saw was a Wenyen Gabriel performance of all Wenyen Gabriel performances. And most people won't remember it because Maxi Kleber hit the shot at the buzzer. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. 16 minutes from Rui Hachimura. Unacceptable. If this coach don't make better rotations tonight against this Orlando Magic team, we are going to lose. Just like we lose every other game, he has bad rotations in. It ain't deeper than that. And I know a lot of people saying, you can't blame Darvin Ham. Those are narrative-creating mindsets. Everybody knows there are millions of different contributing factors into why you lose a basketball game. 500,000 of them are the coach's responsibility. So stop telling me I can't blame Darvin Ham for why the Lakers lost a 1-point game against the Dallas Mavericks when he leaned on the cold hand all damn night. He leaned on 2 cold hands all night and didn't give us enough size to rebound. Didn't give us enough size, rather, to do what it is that we needed to do to win the game, because we did win the rebound total. But we definitely lost the games. And there were players who didn't play who could have gave us maximum production. Guys who scored 30 points in games early this season that didn't get a single minute in this game. And you want to tell me it's all on Anthony Davis? You better get your basketball IQ up if you believe that bullcrap. When you see a team make half of their damn free throws and lose by 1, you want to blame one person? Grow up. So that's what I got to say to anybody who holds that mentality. Anthony Davis sold. But don't tell me I ain't giving no problems to the guy who had all the players on the floor that was cold as hell. Or to the guy who had the drop coverage down there and watching him shoot threes after threes after threes after threes after threes. When we already had a game against Portland where that happened. Team ill prepared going into these damn games. Running players that can't even match up against them, and you don't want me to blame the coach because Anthony Davis had a bad game. Man, if you don't get out of here with that garbage. Anyway, so that's what I had to say about that, man. The Lakers better do something against the Orlando Magic or my attitude's going to get even worse. I'm just going to tell the truth. It ain't deeper than that. I'm a Laker fan that likes winning, and we ain't doing a whole lot of that, despite having a roster that I actually believe in, what makes it a hell of a lot worse than it was early in the season when we were running around small guys that I didn't want to see no more. This ain't that. This ain't that. So that's what I got to say about that. Anthony Davis, man. If you got a heart in your chest, it's your last stand. Because I'm telling you, bro, you go out there and lay an egg against those 7-footers that can all dribble and do all types of stuff. we ain't gonna be looking at you the same way, because at the end of the day, that's what's coming. So if you can't stop that, you don't hold the same value, because that's what we're gonna be seeing over the next 7 years. So get it right. BDL44. Thank you all for watching.